Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome to my channel if you're new and if you're not. Come va? My name is filcofilms and today I am going to set the record straight about Italians once and for all. The stereotypes that are constantly being thrown around about Italians are so dated, and they date back to like the early 20th century when the first Italians emigrated out of the country. So I think we're due for an update. Now, Italy is actually quite a diverse country. If you travel to France, Britain, the Netherlands, you will notice diversity in the truest form and sense of the word. Different cultures, different races, different religions, and that's because these countries' colonial pasts date back to the 16th to 18th century. Those who were colonized see more freedom of movement to the respective countries, and often even still speak the language. Italy's a bit different than this though, because their most significant colonial past dates back to the Roman Empire, which is all the way back in the 5th century. Now this is when Italy, way before it was known as Italy, saw mass migration of Europeans, Africans, Asians into the peninsula, which resulted in what is now the vast majority of Italians. Obviously, integration was handled very differently at the time, but the end result, which saw this mix of cultures, ethnicities, races, ended up pretty much the same. And this result is what makes up about 90% of Italy's population today. In modern times, only 10% of residents in Italy are actually foreign citizens, mostly originating from Eastern Europe and North Africa. This brings more, let's say, traditional diversity to the country, with the recent introduction of new religions, new cultures that were not present in the country before. Like for any other country, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that there aren't any bigoted and backwards thinking people in Italy. But for the most part, I think Italians will be as friendly and accepting as any of their other European neighbors. Now, Italy is also an economic superpower. Now, this may or may not be surprising to you because Italy ranks in the top 40 countries with the highest GDP per capita, and it is the country with the 8th highest GDP in the world, 4th in Europe after Germany, the UK, and France. Now, what does that mean? It means that goods and services provided by Italy are extremely valuable for the general world economy. Companies that greatly contribute to Italy's GDP include FCA, Generali, Eni, Enel, and a lot of others as well, including well-known brands in the car industry, appliances, fashion, and of course, food. With wealth, though, comes lifestyle, la dolce vita. Now, is this a real stereotype, though? I guess you could say so. Italy's universal healthcare system has been ranked the second best universal healthcare system in the world. Now, although it's an option, most Italians don't even have access to private healthcare because of the quality and efficiency provided by the healthcare system of the state. Probably also contributes to the fact that Italy has one of the highest life expectancies in the world. With this, nearly a third of living Italians today are over the age of 65, and the elderly population is getting bigger and bigger by the day. With such an old population, it comes as no surprise that Italy was hit so hard by the recent pandemic compared to countries with much younger populations. And despite having such a good healthcare system, it's almost like it came right back around to bite it in the. Speaking of Japan, when you ask other countries what their favorite foreign cuisine is, most people will say Italian, followed by Chinese, and then Japanese. There you go. Top 3 favorite foreign cuisines. The more you know. But what about in Italy? What's Italy's favorite foreign cuisine? That can't be Italian. And if you guessed Japanese, you would be right. It was kind of a dead giveaway. Don't be fooled though, Italians will still favor their own food over anyone else's. But when they feel like a change, sushi and sashimi does take the top spot. Why? It's light, it's healthy, it's mostly fish-based like a lot of Italian food. It's just familiar, and in a lot of ways, it's quite similar to what Italian food is like, despite it being worlds apart. Now, it's easy to get lost in the beauty of Italy when looking at the food, at the arts, of the culture, the architecture, the fashion, the cars. And while these are such important factors that make Italy so unique, it's also important to note that natural beauty is not lacking. In fact, Italy has the highest faunal diversity in all of Europe, representing 1/3 of all animal species present on the continent. Bet you haven't thought about going to Italy for a safari, have you? The length of the country gives it such a vast geological structure, mixing coastlines with mountain mountain ranges, swamps with forests, hills, grasslands, and even deserts. Yes, Italy has its own version of a desert called the Acona Desert in Tuscany. With all these different ecosystems just an arm's reach from each other, you could spot some surprising wildlife. The lynx in the Italian Alps, marmots, wolves, bears, eagles, and a huge variety of marine animals as well. An insane amount of diversity in such a small area of land. That brings a whole new meaning when talking about Italian beauty. So now hopefully I managed to update your list of Italian stereotypes to include cultural and natural diversity, wealth, world-leading sanitation, and culinary openness. If you learned a thing or two, smash the like button on this video and subscribe to my channel, hitting the notification bell icon to be notified every time I post a new video. I post on YouTube every Sunday, but you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram to catch me when I'm not posting on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching this video. My name is filcofilms, and I will catch you next time. Ciao.